The field of psychology dives deep into the science of the mind and behavior. For decades, studies have explored why we think, feel, and act the way we do, and this pursuit of understanding continues to evolve. Every day, new discoveries shed light on the mysteries of our psyche, yet so much remains unknown. Some psychological findings are especially fascinating and even surprising. For instance, did you know that simply punctuating your text messages can make you come across as insincere? Yes, psychology can make you rethink the smallest details of your daily interactions. So, get ready to embark on an intriguing journey through the human mind as we unpack these 15 psychology facts. They just might explain or confirm some of the quirks you've noticed in yourself or others. Number 1. If we have a plan B, our plan A is less likely to work. Imagine you're working on a big goal, maybe a career aspiration or a personal milestone. It seems logical to have a backup plan, right? After all, isn't preparation key? However, scientists at the University of Pennsylvania discovered that having a plan B can actually undermine your success. In their study, participants tasked with completing a challenge performed worse when they had thought about a fallback plan. Why? Because the mere existence of a backup option decreased their motivation to succeed at Plan A. This phenomenon ties into expectancy theory, proposed by Victor H. Virum in 1964. The theory suggests that our motivation is linked to how strongly we believe in the likelihood of success. By planning for failure, we subconsciously reduce our commitment to our primary goal. Of course, thinking ahead is wise, but be cautious not to overemphasize Plan B. It might be the hidden reason why your dreams are stalling. Number 2. Catching a yawn could help us bond. You're in a meeting, wide awake and alert. Suddenly, a colleague yawns loudly. Before you know it, you're yawning too, even though you're not tired. What's happening? This is called a response yawn, and it's a fascinating phenomenon. While the exact reason yawns are contagious isn't fully understood, one leading theory is that they demonstrate empathy. Empathy is a social glue, helping us bond with others. Interestingly, young children who haven't fully developed empathy or individuals on the autism spectrum are less likely to yawn in response to others. So, next time you catch someone's yawn, consider it a small but meaningful sign of human connection. Number 3, we care more about one person than about massive tragedies. Let's imagine you're presented with 2 scenarios. A picture of one starving child, a statistic about millions of people dying from hunger, which moves you to donate. Research from the University of Pennsylvania shows that most people feel more compelled to help a single individual than to address a large-scale problem. When a tragedy feels too big, it overwhelms us, making us feel powerless. But helping one person feels achievable, and this is where our generosity shines. It's a sobering reminder of how our minds process emotional appeals. The next time you see a charity campaign, consider how they might be playing to this psychological quirk. Number 4, beginnings and ends are easier to remember than middles. Have you ever struggled to recall the middle of a presentation or a grocery list? There's a reason for that. It's called the serial position effect. According to a study in the frontiers of human neuroscience, our brains are naturally wired to remember items at the beginning and end of a sequence more easily than the middle. This explains why you might recall the opening and closing slides of a meeting, but not much in between. So, if you want to make an impression, focus on delivering a strong start and finish. Number 5, it takes 5 positive things to outweigh 1 negative. Have you ever found yourself dwelling on a single negative comment, even after hearing multiple compliments? This happens because of something called negativity bias, a tendency to focus on negative experiences more than positive ones. To counteract this bias, psychologists recommend practicing gratitude. Start and end your day by reflecting on 5 things you're grateful for. This habit can help rewire your brain to focus on the good and create a more balanced perspective. Number 6, food tastes better when someone else makes it. Why does a meal prepared by someone else always taste better? It's not just about their cooking skills, it's about your brain. When you cook for yourself, you're exposed to the sights and smells of the food for an extended time. By the time you eat, Your brain has already processed much of the sensory experience, making the meal less exciting. So, next time someone offers to cook for you, enjoy the full sensory experience. It really does make a difference. Number 7. We'd rather know something bad is coming than be in the dark. You've probably heard the dreaded words, "We need to talk." Instantly, your mind starts racing with worst-case scenarios. Research shows that humans prefer certainty, even if it's bad news, over uncertainty. When we don't know what to expect, our brains go into overdrive, trying to predict all possible outcomes. This mental strain is often worse than facing the bad news head-on. Number 8. When one rule feels too strict, we want to break more. Have you ever noticed that strict rules often lead to rebellion? This is the psychological phenomenon known as reactance. When people feel their freedoms are being restricted, they often push back by breaking even more rules. This is especially common in teenagers, who might sneak out when grounded and engage in other risky behaviors just to reassert their independence. Number 9. There's a reason we want to squeeze cute things. Ever felt an overwhelming urge to squeeze a puppy or cuddle a baby? This reaction, known as cute aggression, is a way for your brain to balance intense positive emotions. Without it, our feelings of joy might become so overwhelming that they hinder our ability to function. Number 10. We unintentionally believe what we want to believe. Confirmation bias is the psychological tendency to interpret information in ways that align with our pre-existing beliefs. It's why people gravitate toward news sources that reflect their views and reject opposing perspectives. This bias makes it challenging to change someone's mind because we're all subconsciously filtering reality to fit our narratives. Number 11. Multitasking reduces productivity. Many of us take pride in juggling multiple tasks at once, believing it makes us more productive. But studies from Stanford University have shown that multitasking is actually less efficient than focusing on one task at a time. Why? Because our brains aren't built to handle switching between tasks rapidly. Each switch creates a cognitive load, which drains mental energy and slows us down. Over time, multitasking can also decrease our ability to focus on a single task, even when we need to. If you want to work smarter, not harder, try time blocking or the Pomodoro technique to maintain focus and complete tasks more effectively. Number 12. Memories are surprisingly unreliable. Think you remember an event exactly as it happened? Think again. Psychologists have found that memories aren't as static as we might believe. Each time we recall a memory, our brain reconstructs it, and in the process, it can introduce distortions. For example, the details of a childhood birthday party or an argument with a friend might change subtly over time. External factors, like stories shared by others or emotions you're feeling at the moment, can further alter these memories. This is why eyewitness testimony in court cases is often unreliable. Our memories feel real, but they're not always accurate. Number 13. We feel happier when we spend money on experiences. Imagine you have $100. Would you spend it on a new gadget or a weekend getaway? Psychology suggests that you'll derive more lasting happiness from the experience. Research published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology shows that experiences create memories, social connections, and a sense of personal growth, all of which contribute to long-term happiness. Material possessions, on the other hand, lose their novelty quickly, leaving us wanting more. So, the next time you're deciding how to spend your money, consider investing in moments instead of things. Number 14. It's possible to trick your brain into thinking time is moving slower. Have you ever noticed how time seems to fly by during vacations but drags on during a dull workday? This happens because our perception of time is influenced by the amount of new information our brain processes. When you're in a new or stimulating environment, your brain works harder to take it all in, making the experience feel longer in hindsight. Want to slow down time? Try introducing novelty into your routine. Take a new route to work, try a new hobby, or explore a different part of your city. Breaking away from monotony can make your days feel fuller and more memorable. Number 15. People's names affect how we perceive them. Have you ever met someone and felt like their name fits them perfectly? This phenomenon is called the name-letter effect, where we unconsciously associate certain names with specific traits. For example, studies show that people with names starting with softer sounds like M or L are perceived as more gentle, while those with sharper sounds like K or T seem more assertive. Additionally, research has found that people often gravitate toward professions that align with their names. This is called implicit egotism. For example, a person named Dennis might be more likely to become a dentist. While it's not definitive, our names carry subtle psychological cues that influence how others see us and how we see ourselves. The human mind is an endless source of fascination, filled with quirks and complexities that shape our lives in profound ways. Understanding these psychology facts not only helps us learn more about ourselves, but also offers insights into how we relate to others and the world around us. As you reflect on these points, think about how they might explain certain behaviors or decisions in your life. And remember, psychology isn't just about understanding the mind. It's about improving how we live, work, and connect. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Let's spread the joy of learning together. Also, drop a comment below about which psychology facts surprise you the most. We'd love to hear your thoughts.